Welcome to this episode of Inside Tulsa Athletics. We have the Deputy Superintendent, Paula Shannon, the Deputy Director of Athletics, Mick Wilson, the Assistant Director of Athletics, Jen Sanders, and the head soccer coach at East Central. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Inside Tulsa Athletics, and now we have the head soccer coach at East Central High School, Connor Whitham. Connor had a tough Friday night, to zip loss to Edison, but had chances and had a good game.
Yeah, we all year we're a young team, made a lot of small errors that young teams make, and we had chances. We had a good game plan. The kids executed it really well. Their keeper made some good saves. We missed some chances that we typically haven't missed, and we lost to a good team, a really veteran team. I know Coach Jason over there has, I think, 11 or 12 seniors, and they were kind of built for this year. And we weren't really built for this year. We're kind of built for the future. This is kind of a stopgap year, and so for us to do so well, to win our district, host playoff games, and have a chance to get to the semifinals is really, really good for our program and good for our guys who are going to be coming back next year. They'll learn from that, and we'll be right in the thick of things again.
No, but it's good to have two Tulsa schools playing each other in
the
tournament there. Well, let's talk about, for our soccer fans, let's talk about what your feelings are. You've seen some of these teams play and been around the program for a long time. Let's start out in 6A. Who do you think has a great chance in 6A?
So this year in 6A, Broken Arrow is a really good team. I've seen them play. They're a good team. They've had some weird things with coaching go on in the last week or so, or last month or so, and they're playing Mustang. And I've seen Mustang play and seen their scores, and I think that they are easily the best team in the state. At one point this year, they'd only given up like 2 goals, and they're beating teams that are really, really good teams, and they're just throttling them. And they're nationally ranked. So in 6A, I think it's going to be Mustang. In the other semifinal, it's Edmond Memorial and Northwest Clawson. And Northwest Clawson made the finals in 5A a few years ago, and their coach is a friend of mine. So I'm going to go ahead and pick them to make the finals against Mustang. But I think Mustang is going to win 6A boys and probably do so in pretty emphatic fashion if I had to put my money on it.
What about 5A?
So 5A is Edison is playing Southeast in one semifinal, one we'd like to have been a part of. I think Edison will beat Southeast. They're a veteran team, well coached, and I think they'll make the finals against Bishop Kelly, who's playing Santa Fe South. Bishop Kelly, until someone beats them, they're the team to beat, and they're a veteran-led team. They're well coached as well, and they've played Edison this year, and they beat them, and so I think they kind of got the jump on them. So I think Bishop Kelly will win 5A again. And that's kind of the 5. I mean, that's until someone beats them. It's Bishop Kelly's to lose, and I just think that they're probably too good this year. They got a lot of seniors that they'll win 5A again.
What about 4A?
So in 4A, I don't know a whole lot about 4A. We played one 4A team this year, Hilliard, who is in the semifinals, and I can't remember who they're playing. And Fort Gibson is also in the semifinals and the other semifinals. So I think that it'll probably be Fort Gibson and Hilliard in the final against each other. And Fort Gibson's kind of like the Bishop Kelly of 4A. Until someone beats them, I think that they're the team to beat in 4A, and they played Hilliard earlier this year, and they beat them. So I think Fort Gibson and Hilliard will be in the final. I think Fort Gibson wins that final. It's probably a good game, a real close game, because they were in the same district together. And so that's kind of my picks: Mustang, Bishop Kelly, Fort Gibson. I could be wrong.
Yeah, who knows?
That could be right, but that's kind of where I'm feeling as I've seen scores and looked at the teams and know some of the coaches and players. It's kind of
That'll be
feeling.
Interesting at 4A if it ends up being that they're not 25 miles apart.
Yeah, they're real close, and there's like a little soccer community in that area down near Muskogee, just south of Muskogee there, and Fort Gibson has been good for, I think, about 5 years. They've been in the finals or won the finals. I think 4 of the last 5. They're really good, and Hilldale's kind of an up-and-coming team. Their coach is a younger guy. I've met him a few times. He's a good guy. They're a well-coached team. We played them in the preseason, and we beat them 2-1 in the preseason and just a shortened game, and it was a good game, and so they're a good team. So it's kind of weird that they're so close together,
Yeah.
but they're kind of a soccer hotbed down there, and so they're both pretty good teams.
Let's talk about that, the comparison East and West. Teams that play, which side is the dominant, do you think?
So I would say, I mean, even since I was in high school, the East side has been much better, has won a lot more state championships. There was a stretch there in my first year's coaching, assistant Josh Diamond, where we were losing to Heritage Hall every year, and they were obviously a West Side school. But since those little 4 years of Heritage Hall dominance, it's been all East Side in 5A, and in 6A, it's the Jinxes and the Broken Arrows and the Unions of the world. Owasso's a good team. They're usually winning it in 6A. 4A, like I said, Fort Gibson has been kind of the team for a while now. And I think before that, Cassia Hall was pretty good, and they're an East Side team. I don't know. I think maybe with Oklahoma City, the schools are so spread out that it's hard to kind of get a hotbed of talent. So the talent gets spread out. So over here, it gets a little bit more compacted together, the talent at different schools. And so I think East Side just typically does a little bit better. And there's not really a powerhouse down there like a Bishop Kelly. There was for a few years with Heritage Hall, but where they kind of stockpile talent and they just kind of can run off championship after championship. So
Well, there was quite a indication that there were scholarships as well at Heritage Hall. So,
I yeah. Well, those years we lost to Heritage Hall, let's see. One year, one of their center backs, he played one semester of college soccer and started playing for LAFC, their reserve team. Just recently, another kid who we played against from Heritage Hall, he got drafted number 8 in the MLS draft to the Houston Dynamo. So as I look at it, I was texting Josh about it the other day. I said, well, no wonder we couldn't beat these guys. They've got professional guys on the team, and that doesn't say anything about scholarships, not scholarships, just really good players, really talented players, and so.
the
can't
game
really do
I
a lot.
always remember, Connor, is the state championship game at University of Tulsa when the kick was 30 yards
Yeah.
out, and I'm
Yeah.
thinking, oh my goodness, how in the world? But what a great atmosphere that evening for
Yeah,
the
it was
championship game.
my first year as a head coach. We went to Guyman and won a semifinal game. We get to play at TU, and I know our side of the stadium we probably had 700-800 fans
Oh
there.
yeah.
Old alumni, old coaches, and so should have won that game. I still wake up in nightmares of winning that game. Even Phil, the head coach at Bishop Kelly, he said, well, you probably still think about that game because we should have lost. And I said, yeah, you should have, but that's sports. Sometimes you win and sometimes
You
you
can't
lose.
mail the scores in. You gotta
Sometimes when
play.
you're supposed to win, you lose, and sometimes when you're supposed to lose, you win, and that's sports. We'd always, I'd love to relive that and be able to do it
Sure.
again, but that's life, and you learn from it, and kids
You
learn from
bet.
it, and that's really important.
Well, hey, thanks for being here today. Congratulations on a good season.
Appreciate
and
it.
You got young kids coming back, so it's going to be better in the future.
It is. We'll be right there next year.
That'll be super. And when we come back, we will have Corey Hilliard of EPOS Sports Camps.
Which one of these items can be recycled in the city of Tulsa's blue recycling cart? Mini blinds, hanger, plastic bottle. The correct answer is plastic bottle. Plastic bottles and jugs are great for the city of Tulsa's blue recycling cart. But mini blinds and hangers should be thrown away in the gray trash cart. Learn more at tulsarecycles.com.
Being an athlete at Nathan Hills means that you have to be consistent, outgoing, and be dedicated because students at Nathan Hill look up to the football team.
Being an athlete at Nathan Hill has taught me to be confident and disciplined and always to be open-minded and always ready to work with people no matter how difficult it is.
Welcome back to Inside Tulsa Athletics. And today we have a special guest, Corey Hilliard. Corey played at Oklahoma State.
Yes, sir.
And tell us what you're doing these days, and a little bit about your background.
All right, so I'm from New Orleans, Louisiana. Played at Oklahoma State back in 2003 to 2006. Played 8 years in the NFL for the Indianapolis Colts and Detroit Lions. And now I'm working with EPOS Sports Experience here in Tulsa with Shelly Weaver. She's out of Drumright, and so this will be our second year doing the camp. We're going to have it on the campus of Oklahoma State, June 14th through the 19th.
Well, it's exciting when you and Shelley came to our office the other day and we talked about it. It looks like to me it's a great opportunity for some of our student athletes.
Oh, that's an unbelievable opportunity. We got some of the best coaches I've ever been around from multiple sports, and it's just not OSU coaches. We went outside the box on this one and got coaches from ORU, Langston, University of Oklahoma. Just trying to find the most quality coaching we could find for the kids in the Oklahoma area.
Have 2 sessions.
2 sessions. So I want to say the first session will be football, baseball, basketball, men's, and wrestling. Like, we're doing 8 different sports, so it's kind of hard for me to remember what 2 sessions, what sports go in each session. But the most important thing is any kid that signs up, they can stay for both sessions.
That is fantastic. And it'll be on the campus of OSU.
Be on the campus of OSU, $99 to sign up. If there's any child that cannot afford the $99 sign up, we at EPOS will sponsor them.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And all they got to do is call that number on the flyer, and Shelley Weaver, she'll take care of it.
I know we will be having a Zoom in the morning with all of our athletic directors.
Yes.
And one of our athletic directors, Marlon Houston, has worked in the program, and he is the one that brought you guys to us, and we really appreciate it. I think it's a great opportunity for our kids to get that kind of exposure and be on a college campus. Well, I think it's important for kids to extrapolate to the next level that this is kind of how it is to be on a college campus.
Yeah, no doubt. Me and Marlon go back. Marlon gave me my first coaching opportunity at Will Rogers a few years ago. He's our director of wrestling, and so he managed to pull in John Smith, the head wrestling coach at OSU, who's going to help him out on the wrestling side of what we do at EPOS. So that's really huge. And we thought it was important. Me, Shelley, and Marlon sat down one time about 2 weeks ago, and we thought it was important that TPS be a part of it, especially with me and Marlon having ties with TPS. We felt like this was built for what Tulsa Public Schools stands for and what they do. And we wanted y'all to be a part of it big time.
Well, we're excited about it for our kids. I think anytime you have an opportunity to participate with the level of coaching that you guys have put together for these 2 sessions, and I didn't realize you could go to both camps. I think that would be really, really good because there'll be crossover sports where people will need to be at both of them, and it is a tremendous opportunity. What are the dates?
June 14th through the 19th. So the first session is the 14th through the 16th. That second session starts the 17th through the 19th.
To the 19th.
Yeah.
Right. We will have information in our office as well as each of the schools. Athletics directors will have that information as well, and hopefully that we'll be able to sign up enough kiddos that maybe we can transfer them over on the bus.
Yeah,
who knows? That'd be
I
great.
hope so.
Yeah.
I'd be remiss if I didn't mention this because Shelley would get on to me. It's just not a sports camp. You know, we do a lot of things with the kids off the field. We'll have them in their sport for about 3.5 hours, but off the field we do drug and alcohol prevention. We do mental toughness classes. We work on the kids, their mental makeup outside of their sport. We do a lot of, we'll talk about recruiting and what colleges are looking for in a student athlete potentially down the road. So it's not just, us focusing on sports. We focus on the complete athlete too, which I think is awesome.
Corey, I think that's very important. I tell our head coaches all the time in the various sports that we have over 19 sports in the district, but that if all we teach a student athlete is how to play the sport that they're in with us, then we fail that kid.
Yeah, no doubt.
We have not prepared them to go out into life. As you know, you were fortunate to get to the next level after college even. A lot of our kids don't get to the next level after high school.
Exactly.
They've got to have that education, and I tell them all the time, that's one thing they can't take away from you. You get that, you got that forever, and that'll change your life. Education will change your life. And
yes,
so,
sir.
I really appreciate the impetus you guys put on off the field, because I think that's far too critical, especially in these days and times when it seems like everybody's into hype of that program and how much money can I make and how can I get to the next level, and and they wake up one day and they're not at any level, and they have no expertise and no education.
Right. No, that's exactly how we feel, man. That's why we do it.
That's fantastic. Well, a little bit about you were able to play with some pretty good people when you played in the league.
Yeah, I played with some stellar athletes. Calvin Johnson, also known as Megatron, Matthew Stafford, Peyton Manning, Reggie Wayne, those names. I got drafted by the Patriots, so I was actually in the locker room with Tom Brady, the GOAT. So I've gotten to see some greatness up front, and it was an awesome experience.
Well, I tell you what, we're certainly glad you're here today. And we're certainly glad that you're involved with the EPOS sports camps, because I think it's going to be a great thing for our kids, and we really look forward to working with you guys over the next few years to really put that in as a part of our summer program. So when we come back, and thanks for being here.
I appreciate you having me. Thank you.
When we come back, we'll have Jen Sanders, the Assistant Director of Athletics, who will talk about our tennis programs as the state tournament commences today.
Which one of these items can be recycled in the city of Tulsa's blue recycling cart? Glass bottle, string lights, ceramic mug. The correct answer is glass bottle. Glass bottles and jars are perfect for the city of Tulsa's blue recycling cart, but string lights and ceramic mugs should be donated or thrown away in the gray trash cart. Learn more at tulsarecycles.com.
Welcome back to Inside Tulsa Athletics. Now we have Jen Sanders, Assistant Director of Athletics for Activities, and one of the sports that she supervises is tennis. Tell us about tennis.
So we're right up on the state tournament. We've had a really good run this year with Edison Memorial and Booker T. Just a little bit about Edison team. They've got their number 2 singles player in there, Ashlyn Murillo. She's going to be in the state tournament this year. We've got our number 1 doubles team, Allison Drew and Friday Singer, who are going to be competing. And then our number 2 doubles team, Morellis and Simpson, are going to be there as well. And then, of course, on the boys' side for Edison, we've got Owen Eckert and Jackson Gilliam. So I know Coach Hines has worked super hard in getting those kids prepared for the state meet, and they're super excited. Coach Hines actually is working with kids in the junior high. They have a specific first hour set aside for junior high tennis. So he's building that program literally from the ground up and really trying to get some kids involved in tennis.
Well, that's important too, because he's in the building,
right?
Works in the building every day, so he has contact with those students. But the feeder thing is the key. If you don't have the feeder program coming in there, and he's got those kids, and he has good numbers.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you another one who's got great numbers.
Yeah.
Is Kevin Williams,
yeah.
Reverend Kevin Williams.
Yes, Reverend Kevin Williams at Booker T. Yeah, they had around 27 kids this year. And having 27 kids and no tennis court makes for a very unique practice situation. I know they've used Lacey Park. I know they've used a ton of our city parks. They also used La Fortune. Trying to find, these parents are driving all over Tulsa to get their kids on a court to practice. So, and even so, he's still got, kiddos that are in the state meet for 6A. Their number 1 singles, Victoria Nunez, is going to be competing. And then their number 2 singles, Sophie Ricketts, she'll be competing as well. For the boys' side, you've got Spencer Swearington and Chris Kumar. And actually, Chris should be a 4 or 5 seed at the state level this year. So, he's really had some success with those kids. And so I know they're really excited to see what's coming up this next year.
Well, he's done a good job. And of course, now I know that with him teaching at Carver now, he's going to have contact with that feeder program,
right?
Which again is important. But one of the things that is included in the 2021 bond issue will be tennis courts on the campus at Booker T. We had tennis courts there years and years ago, but they have been reused for other activities now. So if the bond would pass, that's going to be great. So those kids won't have to travel all over Tulsa to be able to go to practice.
Yeah, and I think that's, very exciting for our kids to be able to have, their home courts where they can actually have some tournaments there and of course, just getting to practice there at their school and show some pride in their tennis program. That's a great opportunity for our kids. And I know they're super excited that something like that, the possibility of those tennis courts happening.
You bet. That would be a good addition to the program. And And then Booker T, we have good facilities, really have good facilities across the district. The patrons have really been fantastic for us. And, it's one of those things that we'll be talking about a little bit later when Deputy Shannon comes on, because we are going to go through the four propositions for the bond. But what else is going on in your world?
Well, we're just getting prepped for our professional learning sessions this summer for our PE teachers. Our PE folks and teachers across the district, everyone thinks everyone has the summer off, and I can tell you that is not the truth. That is so far from the truth. I've already got many of our PE teachers signed up for professional learning at various points in the state. We've also got a virtual session that we're going to be hosting as well. So our teachers are super excited to get to learn new games and new activities. And then also, some of the things we've really focused on is SEL, social emotional learning. So really checking in with your kids to see how they're feeling, see how they're doing. We've got lots of activities that involve that. So, just as teachers are lifelong learners, they're going to be doing that this summer as well.
Well, I think the SEL is very, very important, especially through what we've been through. One of the things that we in athletics were concerned about from day one was getting our kids back on campus and getting them involved with their teammates again, that peer group. And we were fortunate we were allowed to come back in June and kept our kids together. And actually, we were the first ones on campus to come back. And I think it was excellent for those kids' well-being, mental health, to be able to be involved with that. So I think the other point that you make, Jen, is important in that we have a lot of our instructors that are continuing education on to advanced degrees and so on. So the summer is pretty hectic. Of course, it's always hectic in our office because the summer is when we sell everything for the coming year and get our partnerships and so on and finish scheduling and get the facilities ready to go. But we did have one little new thing that happened this year, first time ever. Haley Bundy, a golfer at Edison, girl golfer at Edison, became the very first all-state participant in girls golf at Edison. And that is fantastic for that. I know Coach Paris was excited about letting us know about that. And I think good for her and good for Edison Golf. I think the coaches that really work at their programs and get their numbers in there, you can see the fruition of success. And I think that's important. Well, Jen, I'm glad you're here today. You had to fill in. We had a late cancellation, but Jen's always good to help us with that. And I think this will be a busy summer. It will be back more to normal in our preparation for the school year 21-22, and that'll be a welcome to everyone, I think. So when we come back, we'll have Mick Wilson, who's the Deputy Director of Athletics, and Mick will be talking about the golf tournament, the 21st Annual Golf Tournament, and our 9th Annual Hall of Fame Banquet.
Which one of these items can be recycled in the city of Tulsa's blue recycling cart? Plastic bottle, cooler, laundry basket. The correct answer is plastic bottle. Plastic bottles and jugs are perfect for the city of Tulsa's blue recycling cart. But coolers and laundry baskets should be thrown away in the gray trash cart. Learn more at tulsarecycles.com.
Being an athlete at Edison High School has taught me to work as a team rather than as an individual. Whenever you're on a team, you have a special bond with each other. You know you can rely on them in a time of need, whether on or off the court. Whether it be a shoulder to cry on or advice on how you can improve, you know your team will always be there for you.
Welcome back to Inside Tulsa Athletics. And now we have the Deputy Director of Athletics for the Tulsa Public Schools, Mick Wilson. And Mick, we got the 21st Annual Golf Tournament coming up.
Well, I always say that golf tournaments sometimes, Gil, are like fishing stories. they just seem to get better as the years go on. But it's always a great day of fun. It's always a great day to get our coaches, our athletic directors, even people that work in the district to come out and participate, along with Hall of Famers, our patrons, our fans, just community members, and then of course our supporters and our sponsors throughout Tulsa County and throughout the city come out and get together for a great day of golf. Unfortunately, the last couple of years we haven't been able to have it due to COVID last year, and then of course the year before we had a terrible rainstorm, and we've actually played through a few of those. But it's just a great day of golf. It's really a good time for the community, and it's a great public relations part for us to get to visit with people that maybe we don't normally see on a day-to-day basis. But it's a good time, and we're looking forward to it again this year.
How can I sign up to play golf?
Well, it's funny you ask. You should know, but I'll go ahead and school you up if you need me to. No, it's you go through LaFortune Park Golf, where it's been our gracious host, Pat McCrate and Jason Mink for years have done a great job for us there. And so we're going to play there at LaFortune again. We do the sign-ups through their website, and also in person. You're able to stop by the park and go into the clubhouse and register there. Or if you need to, you can call our office and we'll get you in the right direction. But that's probably the biggest thing that we've changed the last few years, is being able to register there at the course and not have to go through our office. They've been a great help with that. But the date is Friday, June 11th. And be just a great day of golf. We'll start with registration around between 11 and noon, have lunch, and then the plan is right now to shotgun start at 1. We may run into an issue. We've talked to Jason and been back and forth that they may want us to tee off at 2 o'clock, but we'll make those changes and get that email blast out as soon as we make a final decision on that. But right now, I'd say even if you get there at 1, you're going to be able to go out and hit range balls, use the putting green, do some things like that, use the driving range. So we'll work with you and we'll make it happen and make sure that everyone gets a good value for what they pay and what they use to support our tournament.
And have lunch with us.
Absolutely, have a lunch. In the past, Gil, that's always been a kind of a burger bar with kind of a buffet type, but I think we're going to switch that this year to box lunches so that people can either take their lunch with them and go out on the course, or you can sit down and visit and have lunch with us and purchase your mulligans, look for your silent auction prizes, and then also do your raffle and things like that during that time. So we'll make sure that everyone has a good time and gets started out on the course and has a good round of golf to boot.
It's a fun day, and like I said, we get to meet a lot of people that we don't see throughout the year and who support the program and want to be a part of it, and our corporate partners and so on. So it should be a great day, though. All the funds basically that go to all of our schools. We keep the money in the student activity fund, and as needs come up at the various schools, I mean, we're buying uniforms this year for 3 or 4 schools that could not afford because of the lack of attendance during the basketball season and everything. And it's really a very acute situation this year, simply because of the lack of revenue.
Well, I got an email from Dave Bennett, and Bennett Steel has been supporters of ours for a long time, and you could just tell that those guys all have missed playing the last couple of years, are excited to get back out. In fact, Dave said, not only do I want one team, but I want 2.
Excellent.
He wanted to get some people out and get them playing again, and it's good to for them to come out and be able to hang around and support us. So shout out to Bennett Steel and Dave Bennett for coming out to participate with us once again.
Well, we're going to be right back, and then we're going to talk with Mick about the 9th Annual Hall of Fame. So after these messages, we'll be right back.
Which one of these items can be recycled in the city of Tulsa's blue recycling cart? Air filter, cardboard box, toy car. The correct answer is cardboard box. Paper and cardboard are perfect for the city of Tulsa's blue recycling cart, but air filters and toys should be thrown away in the gray trash cart. Learn more at tulsarecycles.com.
Athletics is so important at Tulsa Central because it's an outlet for some of our kids there. They get a better opportunity to basically give back to our community.
At McLean,
the sports is what mainly drives a bunch of the students to come to school every single day and work hard because they want to be able to come from the classroom to the field or the court and show at what they're good at.
Well, we're back, and Mick Wilson is with us, and we're talking about the 9th Annual Hall of Fame Banquet, which will be on June the 10th at the Doubletree at Warren Place. And this year we have 14 outstanding people. Every year we talk with the committee, and especially the guru of trivia, Barry Lewis, who knows every name of every player I think that has played in the Tulsa area forever. And we say, how in the world could we not think about this person 9 years ago when we first started this? But it seems like our group grows every year.
Gil, it's just a wonderful time. We see so many legendary faces from Tulsa Public Schools, not only that we recognize here locally, but throughout the state and in many cases nationwide. I think back to some of the guys that we've had come back, and it's just amazing when you see the following and the people show up to see it. It'll be a long time story about Bill Goldberg showing back up for the Hall of Fame and then doing a fundraiser for Edison football, and then all the wrestling WWE fans out in front of the hotel as we're getting ready to start the Hall of Fame, asking for autographs, and they've got all his memorabilia, and they're all lined up. So it's just an absolutely fantastic night. It's so much fun, and it's great to get to know these folks, and they get so excited to be home. I think that's probably one of the great eye-opening experiences too that you see is they come back and they're home and they're in Tulsa, and Goldberg, or whether it's John Starks or it's Anthony Bowie, the first place they want to go is they want to go eat at Goldie's, or they want to go and hit one of their local establishments where they remember eating or growing up or patronizing throughout the years. And so it's a fun time, and it's a great time to hear all the stories to be told.
And the stories get better as they get older.
Yeah, yes, they do.
But I tell you a great story this year. Phil Harmon, All-Stater, Tulsa World Player of the Year from Tulsa Central, went on to play at Kansas. But can you imagine playing high school basketball for Eddie Sutton and college basketball for Ted Owens? What a tremendous career that individual had. Those kinds of things, people put in context that you can't believe that actually happened.
No, and Gil, something else that you run onto or you listen to when these guys talk is that, especially when you get guys that are within 1 or 2 years of each other, how they've all competed against one another or they all followed one another. It was interesting to hear, Tony Casillas talk about guys that he followed and some of the older guys that kind of passed the torch on to him, and then to hear the stories such as John Starks and Anthony Bowie talk trash about, playing pickup games at Lacey Park, and some of those things start to happen. And so it's really fun, again, to hear the stories. It's fun to see these guys get excited about things. And it's just a great night of fellowship as well. And all in the name of Tulsa Public Schools athletics. It just can't get any better, because this generation is now being able to support the new generations that are coming forward.
It's really an exciting night, for the people to experience and to see those folks that they've read about forever, and maybe on the national stage. I love the Bowie and Starks deal when Starks tells Bowie that I just used him at Lacey Park, said he could never get close, and then Bowie gets up and says, yeah, but you never dunked over Jordan, and I did. Those kind of things, are once in a lifetime kind of deals. And or the turf salesman that we had that bought a table and came down, and at his table was Eddie Sutton and Ted Owens. And the guy was an Arkansas fan but lived in Kansas, and he went back and told his friends, he said, yeah, I had dinner with Ted Owens and Eddie Sutton. They said, you did not. He said, yeah, I did at the Tulsa Public School banquet. So
I do remember that, Gil. I tell you, the other one I remember, Gil, is just the following and the great motivational speaking of Spencer Tillman was just unbelievable. Goodness. And then to be able to go speak to the Edison High School student body, what a great experience that those kids will be able to always remember.
And that was the impetus for this, obviously to raise money, but also to get those people re-engaged back with their schools, because that's where their career really started. They might have played at the biggest stage in the Super Bowl or the NBA Finals, but they started right here in Tulsa.
And Gil, that was probably never more exemplified, except through like just the situation with Michelle Schultz, the great
Right.
All-American track runner from Memorial High School, and being able to reconnect with us. And then occasionally we get emails from her saying, hey, is there anything you guys need? What can I do to help?
Exactly.
Just wanting to give back and to reach out and stay connected to us. That's a great example.
It's fantastic. Well, if you want to attend this year's banquet, it will be on June the 10th, 5:30 reception, 6:30 at the Doubletree at Warren Place. You can call our office at 918-746-6453 and talk to Lisa. Make your checks out to the Legends Foundation, which is the sponsor of the Hall of Fame. If you want to use the credit card, you'll have to go through Lisa through our credit card acceptance. And don't hesitate. This all the funds again go to Tulsa Public Schools and to the people that we try to help in our schools, the student athletes and the coaches. We'll be right back after this.
Which one of these items can be recycled in the city of Tulsa's blue recycling cart? Mini blinds, hanger, plastic bottle. The correct answer is plastic bottle. Plastic bottles and jugs are great for the city of Tulsa's blue recycling cart. But mini blinds and hangers should be thrown away in the gray trash cart. Learn more at tulsarecycles.com.
I love Will Rogers Athletics because it helped me physically, spiritually, and emotionally through all the journeys I've been through at that school. All of the support staff helped me a lot, and it's just an amazing school.
Athletics at Will Rogers changed my life because it became a second family. With the support of my coaches and teammates, it's helped me gain confidence, work as a team, and will help me in college and in life.
Welcome back to Inside Tulsa Athletics. Now we have a very special guest, the Deputy Superintendent of Schools, Paula Shannon. Paula, thanks for being here today.
Coach Cloud, thanks for having me. I'm very excited to come talk about our summer programming and then share a little bit about our bond package.
Well, I'll tell you the summer programming, I know been working on that for a little bit now, and I've been involved in some of those meetings, and it's really exciting, some of the opportunities our kids are going to have.
Big difference this summer from previous summers. So as everyone knows, we've lived through this global pandemic. It's taken its toll on all of us, but particularly our young people. So while we have been back in person for a couple of months now, and we're finishing out the year strong, we do want to provide as many opportunities as possible for all of our students across the summer. Our last day of school is May 28th, 29th, I believe. It's that last Friday in May. And then our students aren't back with us officially until August 19th. So we have the months of June and July and part of August in which we want to make sure students are engaged. So Dr. Gist and I have worked with members of our team. As you mentioned, you've been in a number of meetings, and we've worked closely with an organization called the Opportunity Project. They're like a quarterback organization, if you will. They help all of the organizations that serve young people have access to professional learning, to resources and supports to actually bring their programs to our students. Mm-hmm. So they have been working with our Boys and Girls Club, YMCA programming, the Parks and Rec Department, as well as many other organizations like Youth at Heart, Touch Tulsa, Tulsa Debate League, to bring all of these groups together to help us provide programming from June through August. So it's a real community effort underway and is unprecedented in our time in Tulsa.
You know, I've always said the more opportunities we can bring people back to our campuses, the better off it is, because we build those facilities for our students and our patrons. And to have people on campus through the summer is better utilization of our resources.
Absolutely. In June, a number of our partners will be offering programming at their sites. In July, we're doing something big in Tulsa Public Schools. Most summers, we offer summer school at about 10 to 12 sites, and it's centralized. This summer, each and every one of our school campuses is going to be offering a summer camp at the elementary level or a summer academy at the middle, junior high, and high school levels for the month of July. So those programs will begin on July 6th and they will end at the end of July, that last Friday. Each school is offering 4 to 5 days of programming for the most part, and those programs are half day to full day. So our teachers are working really hard alongside our school leaders and community partners at some of these sites to design really fun stuff. And that's the name of the game this summer, is fun. We want to help students catch up academically, absolutely. We know there's unfinished learning, but the most important thing is we want to have our young people engaged. So we want them to be able to have some choice in what they're doing. So part of the time is based upon what young people want to do. There are lots of enrichment activities that they'll be able to have choice around and participate in, things grounded in the fine and performing arts, sports-related activities, as well as hands-on STEAM activities. So teachers and school leaders are working hard, and they're working with partners to bring this programming to our students the month of July.
I think it's really important, the emphasis you placed on fun. Learning can be fun if in the right environment. And I think if you come to the campus in the summer, when it's not mandatory that you have to be there, it will be a lot more fun for our students. I think they'll be able to catch up because we all know we've lost a little bit through the pandemic. There's no question. Nationwide, I think that's the case. So have this opportunity for them, I think, is really, really important.
It is, and relationships are central to all of this as well. We want to create time and space for our young people, yes, to catch up on some of the academics that they need to keep working on. But we really want to focus on building relationships with our young people and helping them be whole socially and emotionally, because the pandemic has taken its toll. We want kids to be able to re-engage with each other. We want them to have more opportunities to re-engage with adults who are mentoring them and have fun while they're doing it.
You know, that's one of the things I think, and you know, because I've told you many times that the mental health of our student athletes for us was very important, that we get them back. And we were fortunate to get them back in June on campus, working out with all the protocols that we had in place. But it paid dividends, I think, for those kids mentally, because they were back in something that was normal and everything else going on around them wasn't normal.
I absolutely agree, and that's what we want to make sure of. We want to make sure through both the work that we're doing in Tulsa Public Schools, through our summer camps and academies, as well as the broader work that we're doing with our community partners, that each and every young person has access to something that will help them be connected this summer, have some structure and routine, help them continue to learn academically, but also help them continue to learn socially and emotionally, and will help them with their mental health.
I think it's important too, we talk at the secondary level, high school level, we'll have some credit recovery. We'll also have some test prep, ACT test prep, which is very, very important as they continue their education at the next level.
Yes, and another exciting thing at the high school level is students will have the opportunity to engage in some internships. So the team is working hard on setting up those internships, particularly to support students in helping the elementary camps. So, you know, you can imagine going back to the elementary school that you went to and being a camp counselor and learning about positive youth development and how to support kids in their growth and development.
You know, you can't beat experience. The experience is the best thing. Hands-on, actually being able to do those things, and who knows, we may find a teacher or two in that group.
That's what we're hoping for. It's a nice pipeline.
Well, thank you for this first segment, and when we come back, and we're going to talk about the 2021 bond issue with Deputy Shannon, and watch these messages, and we'll be right back.
Which one of these items can be recycled in the city of Tulsa's blue recycling cart? Plastic bottle, cooler, laundry basket. The correct answer is plastic bottle. Plastic bottles and jugs are perfect for the city of Tulsa's blue recycling cart. But coolers and laundry baskets should be thrown away in the gray trash cart. Learn more at tulsarecycles.com.
Welcome back to Inside Tulsa Athletics. And Paula, we had one real important factor. How does a kid get into this academy?
Excellent question. So Ready, Set, Summer has an enrollment process. You can go to tulsaschools.org/summer. You can read more about Ready, Set, Summer, and there is a link to click on an application. So that application is in our Smart Choice system. Parents can go on, enter their information, and it will submit their enrollment to their school. And then school leaders will be in touch as our enrollments come in and we shape up our programming. If parents have any questions or students have any questions about what programming their school is offering, they should absolutely talk to the principal to find out more.
That'll be great. I think, like I say, I think what I always tell our coaches when they start a camp or clinic or whatever, first year is the worst year. Once you get through the first year and the networking starts and says, hey, that summer was really neat, then it'll grow. And I think that's the key.
I absolutely agree with that. We will learn a lot this summer. It will help us with the types of after-school programs that we are providing when the school year starts. And then we will do this again the following summer, and it will be even better. We're also providing transportation for students if they need it, and meals for students.
See, that's big, the transportation and meals, because so many of our kids are kind of on their own in the summer.
They are. So tulsaschools.org/summer for your school's summer camp or academy. You can also go to tulsacityoflearning.org, which is a new website that the Opportunity Project has launched. And that will provide parents with a portal so that they can go on and see all of the programming that's being offered across the city June through August. And I like to say chart a path, if you will, to create a set of experiences for their children across June, July, and August that includes Tulsa Public Schools, but also offers many other opportunities as well.
That brings up a question. If my student goes to Eisenhower, for instance, am I just locked into him or her to go to just Eisenhower?
Schools are planning for their students. So we prefer for families to go to their home school. We do want to be flexible though. So if there's some extenuating circumstances, we want to know about it and we want to work with families, because the most important thing is that we are finding a program that works for their young person.
Engaging that student, that's the key. Well, the other thing that's major on June 8th is the 2021 bond issue.
It is major.
You know, we have been fortunate in the 9 years that I've been here. I've been the benefactor of the 10 and the 15 bond issues, and the last one, the approval rate was overwhelming, especially when the economy was as bad as it was. We're coming out of a pandemic now, and hopefully we'll have the same enthusiasm for the June 8th bond issue.
I hope so. The bond is incredibly important for us. You know, we rely on bond revenue as about $80 million of our budget each year. And the bond provides critical infrastructure for us around safety, transportation, instructional materials, and technology. It also helps us obviously keep our facilities in good order. And there are big investments into the arts and into athletics in each of our bonds. So we're excited about the bond campaign. The bond committee has worked really hard over the past several months to put this package together. They've listened to many people. They've looked at our needs. So we feel very good about the bond package that we're bringing to Tulsans. And we are grateful for the generosity of Tulsans. Tulsans prove over and over again that they believe, or I should say we believe in public education. And we know public education is critical for our community and for our democracy. So this bond package, should Tulsans pass it, the 2021 bond for Tulsa Public Schools will invest $414 million over 5 years in Tulsa children, teachers, and families. There are 4 propositions, and I'll talk about those briefly. I know that you have Executive Director Hudgens coming on the next episode, and he could talk in depth, but I'll tell you a little bit about each of these and what some of my the investments are that stand out to me. One thing that's really important for Tulsans to know before I dive in is that passage of this $414 million 5-year bond does not increase taxes. we've worked really hard to make sure that we don't do that. So I want to just name again, the bond does not increase taxes. So Proposition 1 is focused on safe learning environments. It's $168.8 million. This will keep all of our schools and buildings safe, accessible, and in good repair by focusing on these 3 key areas: building and space accessibility for all Tulsans, so we want to be ADA compliant, campus safety and security enhancements, and safe, welcoming, and joyful learning environments. Things that are exciting in this proposition include redesigning all high school cafeterias into flexible multi-use spaces. Again, I mentioned that ADA accessibility improvements in restrooms across the district, and then 8 of our elementary schools will get full renovations. The second proposition that you'll see on the ballot is focused on student and classroom technology. And technology is a backbone to everything we do, right? So we're constantly upgrading and replenishing technology. $90.7 million of the bond will be dedicated to this. Proposition 2 will ensure that all students in schools have the educational technology that the 21st century learner needs and deserves. So some exciting projects include digital marquees across the district, and then $54.7 million invested in educational and instructional technology. So that's making sure that we can continue to get Chromebooks in each student's hands, right? That we're able to replenish those and that we have the best for our families. It'll also keep our critical network systems operating securely. So I know we're hearing about all these different attacks that are happening. Well, the bond helps us maintain the security we need to keep our students safe, to keep our information safe, and to keep our employees safe. Proposition 3 is focused on transportation. So that's $17.3 million invested here. This will provide safe, comfortable, and environmentally sustainable transportation for our Tulsa students. We will make sure that we're providing student transport vehicles to every high school for off-site learning and enrichment opportunities. We're improving the rider experience with Wi-Fi enabled activity buses. I think that our teams use those quite a bit.
All the time, you bet.
And applications to track bus arrival times. And then this will provide funding for our district's continued transition to environmentally friendly buses using compressed natural gas. So that will bring our bus fleet to 73% green vehicles. And again, every secondary school with this investment would receive a designated student transport vehicle to support schools with increasing access to academic and enrichment activities offsite. So you think about students going to internships, or a small group of students going to a field trip, right, where you don't need a big bus, you need some flexibility. You think about debate competitions, all those kinds of fun activities that enhance learning for our students. And then Proposition 4 is quality learning materials and programs. This is $139.3 million, and this will invest in providing the types of learning experiences that every child deserves in these 5 critical areas: creating strong STEM education and career and college-ready programming. So it's really investing in what it takes to have those STEM opportunities, giving all Tulsa students the same opportunities to succeed. Because of those investments, this invests back in our educators as well, so that we're supporting them in their ability to deliver on things like STEM education. This will strengthen arts and athletics programming, and it will expand access to early childhood education, dual language learning, and other proven initiatives. So some examples of this are modernizing our STEM labs district-wide. We know STEM is critical. When you think about the opportunities that Tulsa is attracting and where the workforce demands are, we're seeing Tulsa growing in cybersecurity, in aerospace, and in advanced manufacturing. So when we make investments in STEM, we're preparing our students to be some of the first in line candidates for many of these jobs that our city is attracting. We're also funding the East Central High School YMCA partnership, which would provide a fitness center for students during the day and community during the evenings and weekends, and an indoor soccer facility at Hale, and an all-weather softball turf at Rogers. A bunch of our elementary schools will get new playgrounds, I think 13 of those, and we have outdoor learning spaces at 26 elementary schools that will benefit from this. The fine arts equipment budgets at every school, and the addition, this is exciting given that we're here at Webster, of a band room at Webster Middle and High School. And we would also be working to expand and modernize Webster's agricultural education program with a state-of-the-art aquaponics and hydroponic greenhouse facility. So exciting opportunities for our young people.
I tell you what, Paula, it really is important for the growth of the district and our kids, their opportunity to be educated at the level they need to be. So our voters need to, if they haven't registered to vote, they have until the 14th of May to be registered for the June 8th bond issue. And thank you so much for being here today and sharing this information with us.
Absolutely, Coach Claude. And I'll also add on that, Friday, May 14th, last day to register to vote. But if, like me, you're going to be out of town on June 8th, you can request an absentee ballot. Deadline is 5 p.m. on Tuesday, June 1st. So I've already requested mine and received it so that I can get that back in the mail. You can also do early voting on Thursday, June 3rd and Friday, June 4th from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. at the Tulsa County Board of Elections. So need folks to get out and vote. Our young people deserve an investment in them. So sure, people have questions. Folks often question us, why do you really need the bond? We need the bond, we rely on it, and it helps provide all of these wonderful opportunities that I described for young Tulsans.
How can you vote against kids?
You can't.
You can't. You certainly can't. Thank you for being here today, and after these messages, we'll be right back.
Which one of these items can be recycled in the city of Tulsa's blue recycling cart? Glass bottle, string lights, ceramic mug. The correct answer is glass bottle. Glass bottles and jars are perfect for the city of Tulsa's blue recycling cart, but string lights and ceramic mugs should be donated or thrown away in the gray trash cart. Learn more at tulsarecycles.com.
Being an athlete at Edison High School has taught me to work as a team rather than as an individual. Whenever you're on a team, you have a special bond with each other. You know you can rely on them in a time of need, whether on or off the court. Whether it be a shoulder to cry on or advice on how you can improve, you know your team will always be there for you.
Hope you enjoyed the show today. A lot of important things came out about the summer camp, the camp at OSU, but the most important thing is the June 8th bond issue. Make sure you're registered to vote, and make sure on June 8th you vote for our Tulsa kids to keep improving educationally. See you next time.